Hi friends, welcome to Hygge Yoga with Christine. I am so glad that you came to your mat today. I have a great 20-minute yoga flow that's really going to target those core muscles, creating strength and stability in our core that will help us in so many aspects of our lives. And as always, I encourage you to listen to your body throughout the practice, taking a rest if you need to, and modifying any poses as needed. So if you're ready, go ahead and grab your mat, create a quiet space for yourself, and let's get started with our practice. Friends, we're going to make our way to our mat today, seated with our legs tucked underneath us, our sit bones sitting on our heels. Let's have our palms resting on our thighs. And I invite you just to take a moment just to settle into your practice today. Maybe just closing your eyes for a moment and starting to notice your breath. Letting your breath form you and inform you. And now we'll begin. Just invite some movement into the spine. Let's begin with a few cat-cows. On our inhalation, we're going to arch that back and look up towards the sky. And as we exhale, we'll find our way to our cat pose, just curling those sit bones. Gaze towards the navel. And inhale, let's look up. And exhale, releasing into our cat. Just one more time. Inhale, looking up. And on our next exhale, we'll just return to a neutral spine. And inhale, now arms float up towards the sky. And exhale, hands to heart center. And inhale, look up. And on our next exhale, we're just going to let our hands come to the top of our mat as we find our way to our child's pose. Just taking one more breath with intention. And on the exhale, let's come up to our tabletop pose. Felix has already decided he's going to make his guest appearance in our video today. Once we come to tabletop, shoulders are going to be stacked over the wrists, hips over the knees hip distance apart. We inhale now. We're going to float that right arm up to the ceiling. Gaze follows for our thread the needle. And exhale, drop that right shoulder down towards the mat. Bend that left elbow. As you find that gentle rotation in the spine, just pushing your hands into the mat. Inhaling in and exhaling out. From our thread the needle, we're going to transition directly to a balancing tabletop. So plant your weight in that left hand. As your right arm comes forward, it reaches towards the top of the mat as your left leg reaches back. Nice straight line all the way from your fingertips, your right fingertips back to your left toe. And let's engage that core, starting to create some heat in the belly, finding stillness in our tabletop, and holding for 3, for 2, for 1. As we exhale now, we're going to bring that right elbow to the left knee for a crunch. And we're going to inhale and reach. Right arm comes forward, left leg comes back. We'll do that a few more times. Exhaling, crunch. And inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, reach. Crunch. And reach. And one more time. Crunch on the exhale. And nice inhale, lengthen from your right fingertips back to your left toes and hold. Navel to the spine. And right arm now comes down in the exhale and left knee follows. Inhale, now the left arm floats up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, releasing into our thread the needle. Finding now that nice gentle rotation of the spine on the other side. And just find your breath. And on your next inhale, with control and intention, left arm floats to the top of the mat. Right leg floats to the back, holding our balancing tabletop. Engaging your core and finding stillness. And now exhale, let's crunch. Left elbow to right knee, inhale and lengthen. Exhale, crunch. Inhale and lengthen, starting to link breath to movement. And exhale, crunch. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, crunch. And inhale, lengthen and hold. And exhale now, left hand comes down to the mat, right knee follows, just returning to our neutral tabletop pose. The toes will now tuck, and we're gonna really engage that core and just lift those knees up about 1 inch off the mat. Feeling that engagement of those abdominal muscles. And we'll hold here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, halfway there for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And exhale and float those hips up towards the ceiling, finding your way to your downward facing dog. Just checking in with your body and starting to just take a few nice big deep knee bends with your downward facing dog. And now your heels come together, and on the exhale just start to lower those heels down as far as feels comfortable for you today. And now we're going to take a nice big inhale and come forward into our high plank position, engaging that core, engaging those glutes. And we'll begin to create a nice wave-like motion with the body as we exhale, returning to our downward facing dog. And inhale, coming forward into plank. And exhale, come up. Really pushing your hands into the mat. Inhale, come forward, engage that core. Let's do this 2 more times. Just make this motion your own. As you exhale, come up, nice wave-like motion. And inhale, forward. And exhale, downward facing dog. And inhale, returning to our high plank. Feeling our hands engaged with our mat. Now let's start to waken up those obliques and bringing that right knee up to the right elbow for 10. Left knee to left elbow for 9, 8, 7, 6. Remember to breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2. Good job for 1. And returning to high plank. And exhale up into your downward facing dog. Inhale, now left leg floats up towards the ceiling for a 3-legged dog. And on the exhale, we're going to bring that left knee up to the chest and just hold that. Really using that core stability. And we're just going to tap that left knee to the mat for 10. Lift, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And inhale, return to three-legged dog. Just taking a moment to find your breath. We're starting to warm up the body, warm up that core. And just return to a moment of stillness. Now on the inhale, that left knee will come forward, planting the left foot between the hands for our runner's lunge. Just taking a moment just to enjoy this pose, sinking into that right hip flexor, nice bend in that left knee. And now we'll inhale with stability, find our way up to our high crescent lunge. Gaze is in front of us, shoulders are away from the ears. And exhaling to warrior 2. Gaze in front of your left fingertips, shoulders away from the ears. Engage that core and drop your sit bones. And exhale, extended side angle. Right arm floats over that right ear, keeping that nice bend in that left knee, feeling that wonderful stretch on those right obliques. And inhale to our peaceful warrior. Right arm back, left arm floats forward. And returning to warrior 2. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Bring that left foot back to meet the right. And now we'll drop those knees and just find our way to our child's pose. Just taking a moment of stillness in our practice. Just noticing the pattern of our breathing, checking in with ourselves. And inhale now, tucking those toes again, pushing back up into downward facing dog. Now the right leg is going to float up towards the ceiling for a three-legged dog on the other side. And exhale, come forward, right knee up to the right chest, finding your core muscles and finding your breath. And now right tap of the knee to the mat and lift. Tap for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. And inhale, returning to three-legged dog. Exhale, right foot now comes up between the hands. Runner's lunge on the other side. Sinking into that left hip flexor, keeping that right knee bent. Now finding stability, adjusting your stance if you need to. Inhale to high crescent lunge, gazes forward. And exhale, warrior 2. Nice bend in the right knee. Make sure you can still see your right great toe. Exhale, extended side angle. Left arm floats over the left ear. Feeling that wonderful stretch now on the whole left side of the body. And exhale, peaceful warrior. Right arm floats up, gaze follows. And returning to our warrior 2. Just taking a breath. Feeling your awareness in this present moment. And from here, we'll return to our high crescent lunge, squaring those hips. And now kick off on that left foot, coming up to your standing mountain pose. Inhale, arms up, gaze follows. And exhale, hands to heart center, coming down to a standing forward fold. Letting your neck be nice and long, letting your head be heavy. Keep a nice bend, micro bend in those knees. if that feels better for you. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And now we'll make our way down to our mat. So just bend those knees. Let your sit bones come down to the mat. Have your feet just out in front of you. And bring those arms forward, dropping the shoulders back. And we'll lift those toes up into our half boat pose. Finding your balance, using your core for stability and stillness. And we'll do a few toe taps, dropping that right foot down for 10, left for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet come together. Now let's flex the feet and just slow in with intention. Start to push that right foot away from you and then bring it back. And now we'll alternate to the left. With control, right foot pushes and left. Kick and kick. Do one more kicking with that right foot and with your left. Now returning to our half boat pose, staying here, or if you'd like, and it's within your practice today, extending into a full boat pose. Really using that core to support you. And exhale, releasing. Bring your feet back down to the mat, and let's just go ahead and start to lower down nice and slow, having our spine make contact vertebrae by vertebrae with the mat. Once you've made your way to your mat, let's just take our hands and put them behind our head, and we'll just finish up our core series today with some bicycle twists. So extend that right leg out in front of you, right elbow to left knee, crunch for 10, switch for 9, 8, 7, lifting those shoulders off the mat for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bringing your head back down, now giving ourselves a nice big hug, squeezing those knees into our chest. Just giving ourselves a little bit of love today. And exhale, planting your feet down towards the mat. We'll do a counter pose to this core workout we've done today. So feet are firmly planted, heels to your sit bones, and we'll make our way to our bridge pose as we lift that pelvis up and off the mat vertebrae by vertebrae, tucking those shoulders behind us. Option to clasp your hands underneath you if that feels good. And have your chin gently lifted so you're not crunching that neck. Finding your glutes to engage and support your bridge. Finding your breath. And exhale, slowly start to release back down towards the mat. Now we'll extend those legs in front of us and just take a moment for our Shavasana, letting our feet externally rotate, letting our bodies be heavy on the mat. Palms can be facing upwards. Just take a moment to check in with yourself, to thank yourself for coming to your mat today, for giving attention to your breath and your body. And now let's go ahead and roll onto our sides into our fetal position. Let's just take one last luscious breath on our mat today. Inhaling in And exhaling, coming up into a seated easy position. Having perhaps your legs crossed in front of you, wrists resting on your elbows. And just taking a moment to close our eyes and bring gratitude to ourselves for coming to our mat today and for nurturing and caring for our bodies and our mind. One final inhalation in, big breath as our arms come up to the sky, and exhale, hands to heart center. Thank you so much for taking this time to join me in my practice today. As always, I so appreciate your presence and the energy that you bring. If you like this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up or consider subscribing to my channel. And as always, I would be so grateful if you would like to share with family or friends. Wishing you all a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Namaste.